Alright, we are going to make a blended roof between these two guys right here. And I like to do a couple of things before I start that blend. I'm going to go to my plan 1 and set up a couple of reference planes that'll help us out. So I'm just going to go to reference plane under the architecture tab, and I'm going to set a reference plane up that aligns with the reveal that we put in last time, and I'm going to name this one R for right. And then I'm going to set up another one on the other side that is on the reveal on this side, and I'll name that L for left. Okay, and then the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go back to my 3D view, and when we make these lines along the edges here to sweep, I want to be able to make a straight piece across here, and that would be really hard to figure out exactly where that was unless I give myself a mark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go set, and I'm going to pick a plane, and I'm just going to set this wall current, and I'm going to make a model line from the place I'm going to start my, or actually, sorry, I want to set this as the current plane, and then I'm going to make a model line that represents where I want the line to come to that I'm going to make. So I'm going to draw a model line right there, and then I want to mirror this over to the other side so it's at the same height, but I don't have access to my reference planes in here or anything to pick to mirror it with. So I'm going to go to my plan 1, and then I'm going to window tile and zoom extents for both, and I'm going to zoom in on this guy. Then I'm going to zoom in on that line I just made over here. So what I'm going to do is pick the line in the 3D view, and then I'm going to come over and left click in here, and it's going to keep that selection, and I can select the mirror command and mirror it using that. And if I come over here and go, you can see how it's mirrored it over to the other side, right? So that's a good thing to be able to pick something in one view and then use another view to invoke a command on it. All right, so let's go ahead and make this guy big, and I'll close my hidden windows. And so let's get moving on our blend. Now I need to do a line on this other side, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'll go ahead and set, I'll pick a plane, make sure I'm getting the right plane, and then I'll go to architecture, model line, and let's say we just want to do this one about right there. And then I'll do the same thing, plan 1, go to tile, and zoom in on this guy, zoom in on this guy. I'll set this one to wireframe so you can see what's happening. Pick that line in here, come over here, mirror, pick that, and it will flip that over there. Okay, so now I have 2 lines on either side, and I'll go to hidden line. And so now let's go ahead and make our blend. All right, so to do that, we're going to use the massing command, so I can just make one thin single-sided roof blend. So I'm going to go to component, model in place, I want to pick mass, click OK, close that, and I'm going to say blend roof. All right, it's going to shoot me into the mass creation area, and I'm going to go to reference and pick line, and I'm going to set this to, is that my front or my back? So I'm going to start on this side, and if that's my front, that's going to be my left. So I'm going to pick that left reference plane, and if you're not sure, so now that should be set as the current reference plane. And now I should be able to come in, and if I pick, it will put the lines right on that reference plane, right, that we made previously. So I'll go ahead and kind of shift around here, I need to pick that guy. And then once I've gotten all those, I'll go to my modify, and you can see that it's put a reference line on there. But what I want to do is stop that reference line right there. So I'll just draw a line from there to there. And then I'm going to use the trim command. I'm going to trim that, and it's going to, give me, it's going to stop that line right there, and I'll just delete that guy that I've just made. Then I'll come over here and do the same thing using the line that I set up. So I'm going to draw a line. Draw a line using this guy. And then I'll use the trim command here. Pick what I want to keep and pick what I want to keep, and it'll trim that line off. Alright, so I'll just delete that one. And now I'm going to turn around and do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and go to reference line, and then I'll come down and go to R, and I will pick on this side, right? And it'll shoot that over to the right reference plane that we made. Come over here, and I think I need one more right there. And then I'll do the same process. So I'll make a line, goes from there to there. I'm going to invoke the trim commands using the shortcut, which is TR, and trim that guy off. Tab select and get rid of that one line that I just made, and do the same thing over here. So drawing a line from there to there, TR for trim, pick that, and then delete that line that I just made. So now what I've got is that and that, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this one with the left click, and then I'm going to hold down my control key and pick that one with the left click, and then I'm going to create form. And it's going to blend those two together, right? Now once I've gotten to this point, I can come in, and if I pick this roof, I can actually assign a material parameter to it. So these little gray boxes are associate parameter boxes, and so I'm going to left click on that, and there is a new parameter button, and I'll click new parameter. And we could make it a type or an instance parameter. I'm going to make this an instance so it shows up in the properties dialog box. So I'll name it blend mat, and I'll click OK, and I'll click OK, and then I will finish the mass. And it's going to warn us that it's just a mesh, that it doesn't have any thickness, and I'm fine with that. So I'll click OK. Now if I pick it, over here I've added that parameter, and I can change the material of it, right? So I could change it to whatever I would like. I mean, we do have that sort of fabric roof material, but let's see if there are any other. There's a roof. So there's metal roofing, so I could actually put a metal roof on it if I wanted to. So I could pick that and click OK. And now there's a solid metal roof on that guy, right? So if I go to shaded, right, you'll see it. Now, you can, since it's a mass, it's not going to act like a roof, right? So if you come in here and pick this and go to attach top base, it won't work, which is a little sad. So you would have to individually move things up and down, right? So that's the only thing with the mass, but it is nice because it doesn't really have any thickness, right? And it's pretty efficient and fast to do. If I wanted to get rid of these lines that Revit makes on it, you can actually do that in the modify line work command and pick invisible lines in the line style selector and just pick on them, and it'll make them invisible so you don't see them and it looks a little smoother, right? Okay. If you needed to adjust, you could always pick this and go to edit in place, and you know, you could go in and move this up or down along that curve if you wanted to. So like I could, you know, pick that, and I could say, no, I want this to be shorter, or I could move that line up. So like if I move that up, it's going to move, now that's canted, right? So you can actually come in here and adjust things after you're done. Okay, so I'm going to click Finish Mass again, and And I think that's it for this one. All right, stop.